All right, my friends, Ted McGrath. I have been on away for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks here. And sorry I have been away. I've been dealing with my father passed away recently. And so I've been taking care of him and the family with my brother for the last month and a half. So I am back, and I did not disappear for down markets. I disappeared because had to take care of my father. So I'm back in a hotel room in Florida. Just got back from the service with my family and saying goodbye to my dad. And now I want to give you some just fun news on MicroStrategy and Bitcoin today. This is not financial advice, not tax advice, not legal advice, not investment advice. Make your own decisions on that. But it's good to be back. I will be back consistently with you guys now. Bear with me. I didn't disappear because the markets were down. I disappeared because my father passed away. So now that I'm back, it's good to provide certainty into the future. And I think we all need that in times like now. So I want to share a couple things. Number one, it looks like Texas just passed the Bitcoin bill. So this is very exciting news that Texas is now in the game officially, passing the Bitcoin bill. Which is very, very, very cool. Thanks, TC. I appreciate your wishes on my father there. So that's very, very good and exciting news. We all also know what's happening at the White House tomorrow. Who knows if it's going to be a bullish announcement that gets people to all of a sudden buy and ape into Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. We'll see what happens there. We know sometimes big events often can let us down, and the news is more exciting than the actual event itself, the news prior. But what I do want to share with you is just a couple things from a MicroStrategy perspective, from my own personal viewpoint and my own personal investment portfolio of how I'm looking at this right now. So, as you know, I got into MicroStrategy back early in February of 2024. So, wherever you are right now with your investments, this is not financial advice, but I know some people have bought at different levels, and I know it gets very uncertain sometimes when you get into a position and you watch your portfolio drop. And for all the positions of when I bought Bitcoin back in early, 2018 for the first time. And even I bought Bitcoin in 2020 again, where I loaded in 2023, where I loaded in again then, when the prices were super low. So my portfolio has fluctuated up and down, but I've never been in the loss category until recently on new money that I invested. And so I'm sharing this with people who have invested new money recently, as most of my portfolio and the majority was invested a long time ago. I invested new money recently, and I happened to invest new money when MicroStrategy was right around 330, 340, even its height, down to 320. And then I decided to let it ride. And I'm a fan of short-term investments in a 2x version of MicroStrategy called MSTU. And I'm not recommending this to anybody, but I'm sharing this for those of you who've made investments in Bitcoin or made investments in MicroStrategy, and you're watching your portfolios drop or be down, despite the fact of my recent investments where I bought at kind of the high recently, around 330 MicroStrategy. And when you look at the 2x version of MicroStrategy, I bought it kind of at its high point recently, and then I watched it just plummet. So I do understand the feeling of the portfolio goes down. And what I can share for myself personally is at no time during that period did I waver and say I'm going to sell out of these positions. And I also still maintain my position that we are in a bull market and that 2025 is going to be a great year. Now that we got the news that Texas just passed the Bitcoin bill, that's super exciting. Other states will follow. And then we'll see what happens at the crypto conference at the White House tomorrow. So in these times, when you're watching a portfolio go up and down, and I can give you an example of it like for my portfolio as it relates to, Microstrategy, we all see is at $301 right now. But when you look at one of them that I invest in, just to show you volatility, MSTU, which is a 2x version of MicroStrategy, if you look at the price point down here, I mean, this thing, looking at price points down here, it's down at 674. And I layered in to this 2x version of MicroStrategy at 880, 850, 800, and even 760, 740. So I'm significantly down on that, 30% in some cases. And I even watched it drop 50 or 60%. Okay. So the point of sharing that is not to say get into volatile things. This is kind of my more of my risk money of like, I'm willing to play the volatility of it because I love the volatility. And nobody likes the volatility to watch a stock like this go all the way down, this 2x version of MicroStrategy, but then you watch it rebound and go all the way up, and you watch the swings and the moves that it makes in a day. Just like you watch MicroStrategy will swing sometimes 10%, 12%, 15% a day. The 2x version of MicroStrategy swings up 30% in a day and down 30% in a day, which is quite fascinating, right? And so I share this just to demonstrate that volatility obviously is real for all of us. And me being in a 2x version, now the great majority of what I have is in MicroStrategy itself, and the great majority of what I have is in Bitcoin itself. And then, I recently, it was not a small allocation that I put into the 2x version of MicroStrategy, which is MSTU. It wasn't small at all. It was actually a quite sizable position. However, I don't sell on these things. And I'm waiting for it to rebound to where it goes up to $10, $12, $14, $16, so that I can then take some profits on this 2x version of MicroStrategy. Make sense? So that's kind of what the graphs have looked like in terms of the volatility on it. If you plug MicroStrategy into this, and I can pull this up for you guys also. If you plug MicroStrategy and you look at its volatility recently, we see, let me pull this up for you guys. We see a bit of a obviously different look in terms of the volatility. MicroStrategy's price point is here. So you look at the screen here, and it's super volatile as well. This is the 10-minute chart. So, I mean, you look at the recent moves up on this thing, and this is like from Tuesday, March 4th. These swings are, look at these swings, look at the volatility on this thing. And then we look at earlier, the swings down on this puppy. I mean, holy cow, look at the swings down over here. Crap, right? So this is volatile, but I haven't sold anything. And so the only thing I sold recently was, I had a plan. I was like, I'm going to put this big chunk of money I have, this new money I have, into MicroStrategy and add to my position. And then all of a sudden, my friend and I started playing a game, and I'm like, because I've invested in MSTU as before, which is 2x MicroStrategy, I'm like, let's play a game. And I just dumped it all into MSTU. So I watched my portfolio drop 50%. And again, not a small sum of money, a six-figure amount. And so I watched it go from here and watched it jump all the way down, right? And ultimately, I was like, okay. And because I've watched the stock of MicroStrategy, and I've been in it since February 2024, and I've been watching the stock, my first share that I ever bought of MicroStrategy was in 2020. And because I've watched the movement of the stock, back in 2024, the way that MicroStrategy moved is it had long periods of time where it chopped. And if any of you remember, before the stock split of MicroStrategy itself in 2024, if you go back and look at that time period, you'll probably remember when MicroStrategy, before it split, it ran up high to about 1900 or 2000. And then MicroStrategy dropped all the way down to about 1100 or 1000 at that time. So in 2040, what's up, John? In 2040, I'm listening to 2040, right? In 2000, somebody asked me price predictions. So I'm like thinking with price predictions. And it's not 2040. That's not my price prediction. But in 2024, we watched, guys. I watched it go, my portfolio go all the way up and then go down 50% in MicroStrategy, and I never sold. Never sold. And then I watched it run up again and the stock split. And then I watched the big run up. What was it? November we had the big run up to what was MicroStrategy? 540 or 550 at its height. And now we look at it's kind of half that right now. So we had another correction, another almost 50% correction down. And we're doing the same thing. We're chopping sideways, chopping sideways, chopping sideways. And I think we're going to have the same run up again. And mind you, the original drop before the stock split, it chopped for months and months and months and months at a time. So living through this and living through Bitcoin since 2018, since I've been in it, and the last 7 years of experiencing this type of volatility, I watch these things happen. And it's not like I'm sitting there and going like I have a steel stomach and it's like, oh my God, I don't like seeing my portfolio drop 50%. Even if I am in extreme profits at the end of the day, nobody likes to see your portfolio go down, at a massive amount. But we've been here before. I've watched this entire pattern before. It's a different unit of time, a new unit of time now. And the indicators of what's happening with Trump, and he keeps reinforcing what the plans are with the strategic reserve. And the indicators that we're hearing from many of the leaders who are going to be the leaders in forwarding the initiatives of the U.S. for these reserves, these signs look bullish. And with Texas now passing the bill and states to follow, the signs still look extremely bullish. So in 2024, we were extremely bullish, and we watched MicroStrategy move like this. So I am not rattled from my long-term point of view in 2025 of where we're going. Again, as I bought into a 2x leverage of MicroStrategy called MSTU, which I'm not recommending because the volatility is extreme. I just watched my new money that I put in 2 weeks ago go down 60%. And now it's back up and it's down about 30%. And soon I will watch that thing be up 100%. Okay. And more. So that's what I'm expecting. That's what's happened over the last year that I've been in this heavily in MicroStrategy. I've been through this before. I've watched it tank. I've watched it zoom back up. I watched it just tank again. That's the volatility of this stock. All right. And for Bitcoin, I mean, watching a 25% drop in Bitcoin is nothing. I mean, for those of you who've been in Bitcoin and have been through bull runs like this before and have watched Bitcoin go up and then watched a bear run of 70% drops, this is not, we've seen many corrections of Bitcoin. In the bull run in April in 2020, we watched Bitcoin go down beyond 30% multiple times during the bull run. And MicroStrategy is kind of a new animal because people weren't really watching it back in 2020 as much as they are now. It wasn't catching the legs that it has now. It didn't have companies like BlackRock investing 5%. BlackRock owns 5% of MicroStrategy. They're heavily invested in MicroStrategy. So it didn't have the institutional investment in these types of in Bitcoin at the time. And we didn't have people buying up MicroStrategy at the degree that they're buying it up now. So the indicators are good. So when I get, short-term butterflies, I look at long-term indicators. I look at history of what I've lived through, and I stick to my resolve of what's going to happen in 2025. And I still believe, and I still stick to my price predictions that I still think we will see MicroStrategy pass 800. My bullish case is beyond 1,000 and 1,300. I still think we will see that. And I still think we will see Bitcoin at 180,000 in a bull case, maybe 200,000. My conservative cases for MicroStrategy and Bitcoin, my conservative for MicroStrategy is it's still hitting its all-time high that it hit and passing that, which was 540, what have you. So conservatively, I'm thinking 600 still. I still believe we're going to hit 800, and my bullish case is 1,000 to 1,300. Okay. Bitcoin, 150,000. I think we're hitting it this year. My bullish case is 180,000 and beyond. All right. Could I be totally wrong? Yes. Not financial advice, but I'm still sticking to my basic premise on this of what I believe and what I believe about Bitcoin and what I believe about MicroStrategy. And the cool thing is the NAV premium for MicroStrategy is now back up. which is exciting. We saw it drop to like 1.4 something at one point. It's around 1.8 right now. We're seeing that correction take place as the bull run hits. I think we'll see it over 2 again, because in 2024, we saw it as high as 3. We saw it living in the 2s quite often. I think we'll see that again. So I'm excited. Sorry, I've disappeared. I'm not the person who disappears when things go bad. I literally disappeared because my father was sick, and my brother and I had to take care of him in the hospital, and he just passed away. And we've dealt with it very well, and I've been with him every step of the way, and every step of the way with family. And obviously, that's the most important thing. Family is senior to money and investing. That's why I was not here the last couple weeks. Okay. So I will be back in the game. I'm in a hotel room in Florida. Hopefully I'll be back to California soon, and back doing the shows regularly. But I just wanted to check in and just stick with my certainty and resolve of this is going to be a great year. I'm super excited. Hey, the volatility is what we pay for, man. We're paying to invest in this stuff. We're paying with time. We're paying with sweat. We're paying with our money. We're paying with our energy. We're paying with the churning of the butterflies. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe this thing dropped. Trust me. My buddy and I who invest in MSTU, the 2X, when we watch it drop to 4.5, we're like, oh my God, right? And now I just got a little bit more dry powder. So I'm waiting to deploy some more dry powder as we have low prices again. So whatever your beliefs are, get educated, get trained on this stuff, learn about it, stick with your resolve on things of what you believe and your knowing. Don't get caught in the fear, but do pay attention to the data. Do be smart. Make your own investment choices. This is not financial or legal or tax advice or investment advice. And do what you think is best by getting knowledgeable on this stock, or getting knowledgeable on Bitcoin, or getting knowledgeable on your investment portfolio. Okay. I still maintain my positions. The majority of my position is in Microstrategy. The next highest position is Bitcoin, and the next highest position in there is Tesla. Okay. And I still think I have a little bit in Solana as well. All right. So I hope this serves you. Everybody stay well. Have a great day. I'm going to be back doing the show more regularly. And again, sorry I was away for a couple weeks, but you understand. Okay. Hope you're all doing well. And I will see you all very, very, very soon.